Top 3 foods that help the brain repair after poor sleep while you sleep. After 60, things change. Your bones feel stiffer, your energy dips faster, but here's something most people never talk about. Your brain actually starts shrinking. Yes, shrinking. Research shows that after age 60, the brain naturally loses about 0.2% of its volume each year. But if you're not sleeping well, that number can double, and you might not notice it right away. It doesn't start with forgetting names or losing your balance. It starts with something much more subtle. You wake up tired even after 8 hours in bed. You struggle to find the right word in conversation. You walk into a room and can't remember why. You feel slower, foggier, a little off. Sound familiar? You're not alone in this. Millions of older adults feel the same way, and the worst part is they've been told it's just part of aging. It's not. The real problem? Your brain isn't healing at night the way it's supposed to. When we sleep, our brain enters a deep cleaning mode. It flushes out toxins, repairs damaged cells, stores new memories, resets emotional balance. It's like overnight maintenance for the most powerful organ in your body. But if your brain doesn't get the right nutrients before bed, if you go to sleep running on sugar, processed food, or nothing at all, that healing process breaks down. Night after night, damage builds up. Inflammation spreads. Cognitive function declines, and suddenly you find yourself forgetting your neighbor's name or getting lost in your own neighborhood. But here's the good news. You can take back control. There are simple, natural foods that can fuel your brain to heal itself even after a terrible night's sleep, and they're probably already in your kitchen. In this video, I'll share with you 3 specific foods that help the brain recover from sleep deprivation while you sleep. Not supplements, not expensive treatments, just real healing food with real science behind it. If this is your first time here and you care about your brain health, I invite you to subscribe. We share practical, science-backed tools every week to help you stay sharp as you age. Now let's start with the first food. It's warm, gentle, and surprisingly powerful. Barley porridge. Let's talk about barley, not the kind in beer, the real barley, the humble grain that's been around for over 10,000 years. Most people walk right past it in the grocery aisle, but if you're over 60 and waking up foggy or mentally drained, barley porridge might be one of the smartest things you can eat at night. Here's why. As we age, our brain's natural detox system, the glymphatic system, begins to slow down. This system works while we sleep, flushing out waste proteins that build up during the day. But when it's not working properly, those proteins start to clog the brain's communication lines. That's when memory slips, focus fades, and that frustrating mental fatigue creeps in. Now, here's where barley comes in. Barley is rich in beta-glucan, a special type of soluble fiber, and in a 2022 study published in the Journal of Neuroinflammation, researchers found that beta-glucan significantly reduced inflammation markers in the brain and improved neural connectivity in aging mice. That's not just comfort food, that's brain fuel, but it goes deeper than that. Barley helps stabilize blood sugar throughout the night, giving your brain a steady, clean source of energy while you sleep. No crashes, no glucose spikes. And when your brain gets that steady supply, it can do the work it needs to repairing synapses, clearing toxins, and locking in long-term memory. In 2020, a clinical trial in Sweden observed that older adults who consumed beta-glucan from barley before bed had improved cognitive performance scores after just 6 weeks. Participants reported clearer thinking, better word recall, and improved sleep quality, not from a pill, from a bowl of warm barley. Let me make that more real for you. One of my older patients, Elaine, 68, used to wake up groggy and anxious every morning. She started eating a small bowl of barley porridge with almond milk about 90 minutes before bed. After 2 weeks, she said, "It's like my brain started breathing again. I'm waking up clear. My memory isn't perfect, but it's sharper, and I actually feel rested." That's the kind of change we're talking about. But there's something else barley does, something most people don't expect. It supports the gut. And you might be wondering, what does my gut have to do with my brain? A lot, actually. Your gut produces over 90% of the serotonin in your body. That's the neurotransmitter responsible for mood, memory, and sleep regulation. And barley doesn't just feed you, it feeds the good bacteria in your gut, the ones responsible for making that serotonin. When your gut is balanced, your brain becomes calmer, clearer, and more resilient. So, what's the best way to use barley? Keep it simple. Take 1/3 of a cup of whole barley, rinse it, and simmer it with water or unsweetened almond milk for about 25 minutes. Add a pinch of cinnamon or a few slices of soft pear for flavor. No sugar, no heavy oils, just let the grain do its work. Eat it slowly, about 90 minutes before bed. That gives your body time to digest, absorb, and shift into repair mode. This is not a quick fix. It's not magic, but night after night, it builds something powerful, a foundation for brain renewal. So, if your thoughts have felt slower lately, if you're forgetting more names, missing appointments, or struggling to concentrate, barley might be the gentle reset your brain has been waiting for. And the best part? It works quietly while you sleep. Now, let's move to the second food. It's soft, sweet, and often overlooked, but it's a secret weapon for memory: stewed pears. Let's talk about something soft, simple, and surprisingly powerful: the pear. Not raw, not juiced, but gently stewed just until tender. It may sound too humble to matter, but for a brain that's been running on low fuel after a restless night, a warm pear at the right time can change everything. Here's why. While you sleep, your brain enters its most important job: memory consolidation. This is when short-term thoughts like where you left your keys or the name of your neighbor get sorted and stored into long-term memory. But that process is energy hungry, and when the brain doesn't have a stable supply of glucose at night, it cuts corners. It weakens those neural connections. It forgets what you tried so hard to remember. Pears, especially when stewed, are the perfect answer. They provide a slow, gentle release of glucose without the spike. No sudden surge, no crash, just a calm, steady fuel source for your brain's overnight work. In 2021, a study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that adults who consumed low glycemic fruits like pears before bed had significantly improved sleep architecture, meaning more deep sleep and more consistent cycles. Deep sleep is where memory processing is most active, but it's not just about sugar. Pears are rich in quercetin, a plant compound with powerful antioxidant and neuroprotective effects. According to a 2019 review in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, quercetin has been shown to reduce oxidative damage in hippocampal cells, the part of the brain responsible for memory formation. As we age, oxidative stress increases in the brain. Tiny molecules called free radicals damage the delicate connections between neurons. That damage accumulates, leading to memory loss, slower thinking, and poor focus. Quercetin helps fight back. It neutralizes those free radicals, protects the neurons, and keeps the lines of communication clear. Think of it as armor for your memory. Now, why stew the pears? When you lightly stew a pear, you make its nutrients more bioavailable, easier for your body to absorb. At the same time, you soften the fiber, which supports the gut and promotes smoother digestion at night. This matters more than people think. In 2020, researchers from the University of North Carolina published findings in Gut-Brain Research Journal showing that individuals with balanced gut flora had better overnight brainwave activity and memory retention scores. And pears, with their gentle fiber and natural polyphenols, feed the good bacteria that support that connection. Pears also contain small but meaningful levels of boron, a trace mineral linked to cognitive function. In a 2018 double-blind trial in biological trace element research, older, adults with higher boron intake showed better short-term memory and motor coordination. Stewed pears won't overwrite years of sleep loss, but they can help the brain do its job when it matters most while you're asleep, quietly sorting through the day's noise. So, how do you prepare them? Just slice a ripe pear, leave the skin on, and simmer it in water with a dash of cinnamon for about 10 minutes. No sugar, no syrups. Eat a small bowl about an hour before bed. It's a simple ritual that gives your brain the calm fuel it needs to remember the things that truly matter. Next, we'll look at a third food, soft, creamy, and rich in the building blocks of sleep and memory, soft tofu. There's a reason many traditional cultures end their evening meals with something soft, warm, and calming. Not heavy, not greasy, just gentle. And one of the best options for your brain, soft tofu. Yes, tofu. It might not sound exciting, but behind its creamy texture lies a powerhouse of nutrients that your brain desperately needs after a poor night's sleep. Let's start with something most people overlook, the chemicals your brain produces at night. During deep sleep, your brain relies on two key compounds to reset and repair, serotonin and melatonin. Serotonin keeps your mood stable and your memory sharp. Melatonin controls your sleep rhythm and allows your brain to fully enter its restoration cycles. And guess what helps create both? An amino acid called tryptophan. Soft tofu is one of the richest plant-based sources of tryptophan. It also provides calcium, magnesium, and isoflavones, nutrients that support the nervous system and reduce overnight inflammation in aging brains. In a 2020 study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, older adults with diets high in tryptophan showed significantly better verbal memory and emotional regulation. Even more compelling, a 2019 analysis from Osaka University found that isoflavones from soy helped improve hippocampal function in women over 65 after just 6 weeks of consistent intake. Why does this matter? Because sleep isn't just about rest. It's when your brain rebuilds its communication lines. It repairs neurons, produces neurotransmitters, and clears out emotional noise. But without the right raw materials like tryptophan, those processes slow down, and over time, mental clarity gives way to confusion. Mood swings appear out of nowhere, and your memory starts slipping faster than expected. That's where soft tofu helps. It gives your brain what it needs to rebuild without taxing your digestion. Most older adults struggle with heavy dinners. Protein sources like meat can sit in the stomach too long, especially at night, leading to poor sleep and restless mornings. But tofu is different. Its proteins are easier to digest and its nutrients are absorbed steadily, fueling the brain's nighttime chemistry. A small clinical trial from Korea in 2022, published in Nutritional Neuroscience, found that participants who consumed tofu before bed experienced more consistent melatonin cycles and reported better sleep quality, less irritability, and faster word recall upon waking. And sometimes the results are felt even sooner than expected. After switching from yogurt to soft tofu before bed, George, 72, said, "I don't snap at my wife in the morning anymore. I feel more level, like my brain isn't just waking up angry." That's the power of feeding the brain what it actually needs. So how do you use it? Take a small portion, about half a cup of silken or soft tofu. Warm it gently. You can steam it or heat it slowly with a splash of unsweetened almond milk. Top it with a sprinkle of cinnamon or crushed walnuts for taste and added brain benefits. No sauces, no sugar. Eat it calmly, at least an hour before bed. It's not about flavor bombs, it's about chemical foundations. You're giving your brain the ingredients to rebuild its balance, clarity, and memory. Soft tofu doesn't shout, it doesn't impress, but it works quietly, patiently, just like your brain does while you sleep. And now that we've explored all three foods, it's time to put them together. In the next part, I'll give you a simple daily plan, something you can start tonight. Let's bring it all together. You don't need a complicated diet. You don't need to count calories or take 10 supplements a day. What your brain needs, especially after poor sleep, is a few consistent signals repeated every evening. Here's a simple daily plan to support your brain's repair system overnight. First, eat dinner at least 3 hours before going to bed. Keep it light, balanced, and low in sugar. This gives your body time to digest so that when sleep comes, your brain can focus on healing, not working overtime on digestion. Then, about 90 minutes before bed, start your brain repair ritual. Choose one of the three foods we talked about. Not all three at once. Rotate them through the week, and pay attention to how your body responds. On one night, it might be a small bowl of warm barley porridge with almond milk. Another night, gently stewed pear slices with a hint of cinnamon, or soft tofu warmed with a few crushed walnuts on top. Each option provides something different: cleansing, fuel, or rebuilding, and together they create a natural cycle of overnight recovery. Don't eat in a rush. Sit down, take your time, let your body and brain settle into rest mode. If you take medications in the evening, double-check that none interact with soy or fiber-rich foods, and always listen to your digestion. What works for one person might need adjusting for another. After that, turn down the lights, lower the noise, let your brain shift gears. Many of my patients use this quiet moment as a signal. This is when healing begins. And healing doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be consistent. So, start small. Pick one food. Try it tonight. And give your brain what it's been waiting for: nutrients that work with your sleep, not against it. In the next and final part, I'll share a few closing thoughts and one gentle reminder I want you to carry with you, especially if you've struggled with sleep and memory for years. If you've made it to this point in the video, thank you. That tells me something important. You're not giving up on your brain. You still believe that even after years of poor sleep, forgetfulness, or brain fog, change is possible. And you're right. The human brain is more resilient than we give it credit for, even in your 60 seconds, 70 seconds, or beyond. Neurons can reconnect, inflammation can go down, memory can sharpen, but it doesn't happen through willpower or luck. It happens through small, consistent actions. One bowl, one night, one choice at a time. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start, no matter how many foggy mornings you've had, no matter how long it's been since you felt clear, rested, and focused. You still have time to support your brain, and it starts when the world goes quiet, when the lights go off, when you finally let your body rest. That's when healing begins. So, tonight, give your brain what it needs. Not a pill, not a promise, but real food, gentle sleep, and a little self-respect. You're not alone in this, and you're not broken. You're just ready for a new kind of care. If this video helped you in any way, please consider liking it, sharing it with someone you love, or leaving a comment below. Your story might inspire someone else to take their first step too. And if you'd like more videos like this, I invite you to subscribe. We're building a space where aging minds feel stronger, not smaller. Take care of yourself. Your brain is listening, and it's never too late to begin again tonight.